भगवान श्री योगी राम सूरत कुमार की जय। योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राया।
योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार,
जय गुरु राया। योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राया।
योगी राम सूरत कुमार,
योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राया। राम 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 योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राया।
योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राया।
योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राया।
योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राया।
राम 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 योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राया।
योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राया।
योगी राम சுரக்குமார் யோகிராம் சுரக்குமார் யோகிராம் சுரக்குமார் ஜெய குருராய
யோகிராம் சுரத்குமார் யோகிராம் சுரத்குமார் யோகிராம் சுரத்குமார் ஜெய குருராய
ராம 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 யோகிராம் சுரக்குமார் யோகிராம் சுரக்குமார் யோகிராம் சுரக்குமார் ஜெய குருராயா
யோகிராம் சுரத்குமார் யோகிராம் சுரத்குமார் யோகிராம் சுரத்குமார் ஜெய குருராய
யோகிராம் சுரக்குமார் யோகிராம் சுரக்குமார் யோகிராம் சுரக்குமார் ஜெய குருராயா
யோகிராம் சுரத்குமார் யோகிராம் சுரத்குமார் யோகிராம் சுரத்குமார் ஜெய குருராய
ராம 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 யோகிராம் சுரக்குமார் யோகிராம் சுரக்குமார் யோகிராம் சுரக்குமார் ஜெய குருராயா
யோகிராம் சுரத்குமார் யோகிராம் சுரத்குமார் யோகிராம் சுரத்குமார் ஜெய குருராய
யோகிராம் சுரக்குமார் யோகிராம் சுரக்குமார் யோகிராம் சுரக்குமார் ஜெய குருராயா
யோகிராம் சுரத்குமார் யோகிராம் சுரத்குமார் யோகிராம் சுரத்குமார் ஜெய குருராய
ராம 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 Yogi Ram Surat Suratkumar, Yogiraj Suratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya.
Yogiram Surat Kumar, Yogiram Surat Kumar, Yogiram Surat Kumar, Jaya Guru Raya.
Rama 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 Jaya Guru Raya.
Yogiram Surat Kumar, Yogiram Surat Kumar, Yogiram Surat Kumar, Jaya Guru Raya.
Yogiram Suratkumar, Yogiram Suratkumar, Yogiram Suratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya.
Yogiram Surat Kumar, Yogiram Surat Kumar, Yogiram Surat Kumar, Jaya Guru Raya.
Rama 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 Yogiram Suratkumar, Yogiram Suratkumar, Yogiram Suratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya.
Yogiram Surat Kumar, Yogiram Surat Kumar, Yogiram Surat Kumar, Jaya Guru Raya.
Yogiram Suratkumar, Yogiram Suratkumar, Yogiram Suratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya.
Yogiram Surat Kumar, Yogiram Surat Kumar, Yogiram Surat Kumar, Jaya Guru Raya.
Rama 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 Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Jaya Guru Raya.
Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar,
Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram. Rama Ram, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Jaya Guru Raya.
Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Jaya Guru Raya.
Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram. Rama Rama Ram, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Yogi Ram Surat Kumar Yogi Ram Surat Kumar Yogi Ram Surat Kumar Jaya Guru Raya Yogi Ram Surat Kumar Yogi Ram Surat Kumar Yogi Ram Surat Kumar Jaya Guru Raya Rama 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 Yogi Ram Surat Kumar Yogi Ram Surat Kumar Yogi Ram Surat Kumar Jaya Guru Raya Yogi Ram Surat Kumar Yogi Ram Surat Kumar Yogi Ram Surat Kumar Jaya Guru Raya Rama 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 ராம 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 யோகிராம் சுரத்குமார் யோகிராம் சுரத்குமார் யோகிராம் சுரத்குமார் ஜெய குரு ராயா யோகிராம் சுரத்குமார் யோகிராம் சுரத்குமார் யோகிராம் சுரத்குமார் ஜெய குரு ராயா யோகிராம் சுரத்குமார் யோகிராம் சுரத்குமார் யோகிராம் சுரத்குமார் ஜெய குரு ராயா ராம 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 யோகிராம் சுரத்குமார் யோகிராம் சுரத்குமார் யோகிராம் சுரத்குமார் ஜெய குரு ராயா யோகிராம் சுரத்குமார் யோகிராம் சுரத்குமார் யோகிராம் சுரத்குமார் ஜெய குரு ராயா யோகிராம் சுரத்குமார் யோகிராம் சுரத்குமார் யோகிராம் சுரத்குமார் ஜெய குரு ராயா ராம 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 Rama 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 योगिराज कुमार जय गुरु राया राम 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 भगवान श्री योगीराम सूरत कुमार की जय। सर्वं योगीराम सूरत कुमारात्मनमस्तु। We have been very fortunate to be given this precious gift of Namasankirtan, of His powerful name, especially the evening twilight, a time meant for worship of gods. Our grateful pranams with the Nama lotuses at the lotus feet of Bhagavan. Every day we say that Sarvam Yogiram Saratkumara Arpanamastu. We offer everything, all that we go through, all that we think, all that we talk, and all that we do, we offer at the lotus feet of Bhagavan. Often, people used to write to Bhagavan also, and in the beginning of the letter itself they would say, Bhagavan, we are offering ourselves to you. We are offering everything that we have to you, and we are offering ourselves to you. Then Bhagavan would nod his head with a smile, and then I would go on to read. Then would start a list of things they wanted Bhagavan to bless. And then at the end of which Bhagavan now this time will laugh, his cascading, thunderous laughter, and say, oh, you see Devaki, how they have offered everything to me. They don't realize they are offering only their problems to this beggar, not themselves. So much for our surrendering things to him. Now, all this is because we think that we are being pressurized by the problems of life. One man, a householder, went to a Mahatma and said, Swami, you see, so many problems are bugging me. My wife is a problem, my son is a problem, my daughter is a problem, and I have so much debt. I'm not able to pay back. And of course, when I go to the office again, there's a problem. Everywhere, wherever I go, whatever I do, there are only problems. What is the use of this life? What's the big idea? I would rather not live this life at all. The man was full of anger. His face was red. And he even forgot for a moment that he was talking to a great soul. But the great soul said, very peacefully, very soulfully, there is one more problem which you have left off. Swami, one more problem? My God, I didn't know that. Please tell me. Then the great one smiled and said, that you think that you should not have any problems at all is the problem. As long as you think that you have problems and that you should not have any problem, the problems would continue. It's because we think that we shouldn't have problems at all that we suffer. It's because we think that we are having problems, problems after problems. And the very thought adds to the mental suffering. It's okay, Bhagavan used to say, who doesn't have problems in life? Everyone has their own set of problems. Like the waves of the ocean, rising endlessly. But that's only on the surface. When you dive deep into the ocean, as you go down and down and down, you would begin to feel a silence, a deep silence. There would be very little light, and at the end there is no light, and there is only silence. So if we dive deep into the depths of our mind, the depths of our spiritual heart, we also will be able to find that silence. And that silence would silence all other problems. But then instead of going deep inside, all that we do is grumble, as though we should not have any problems at all, that they have been imposed upon us unjustifiably. I remember the beginning of Bhagavan's shifting from Sannadhi Street house to Sudama. There were problems and problems and problems. Bhagavan had just started this huge ashram, and people could not take it, that he was only a beggar. They had known him only as a beggar, and suddenly a huge palace was coming up. And there were other issues too. I felt very bad, and I told Bhagavan, maybe if I should leave this place, if I should go to Kasi, Varanasi, there would be less problems for you. Bhagavan laughed and said, all right, you go to Kashi, but then you would be taking your problems there, because they are your problems. The problems that we get are our problems. We have invited them. Have you noticed? People have been so good to us at one period. When some bad karma begins to play up, the same people would become different. And they would begin to find fault with us. And they would start accusing for something or the other. And there would be so much unpleasantness around. It is not they themselves. It is your karma, your bad karma playing up. And that would change the minds of people around. And the same people would once again become very good to you when a good karma begins to play up. You could watch this, you could see this in your own life. So it's not people themselves. It is our good or bad time that makes them different. So who is to be blamed for anything at all? So Bhagavan says, you have yesterday one problem, today one problem, and tomorrow another problem. Problems. And then he said, there is only one way out of all this. And that is not to think that you should not have any problems at all. Accept it. Everyone has problems, so I also have problems. So let me accept it and face them. And how will you face? Number 2, with the divine name on your tongue, with your devotion to your Ishta Devata in the heart. The Nama is the magic wand that can change all your difficulties into blessings. But then you have to be ready to work hard. I have seen many people come to Bhagavan, and Bhagavan would raise his hand with so much compassion, and the problems would be solved. But there was very little transformation. And next time they would come again, hoping for blessings from Bhagavan, and again the problems would be solved, and they would go back happily. And they would also feel intense devotion and gratitude to him. But until what time? When they came with another problem, and the problem was too difficult, with its own complications, and it happened that it was taking time, in spite of Bhagavan's blessings, in spite of Bhagavan raising his hand. I had seen their letters, I had read them out to Bhagavan. They would say, Swami, why are you not blessing me? Why are you doing this to me? What did I do to deserve this? And then there would be a hint of Bhagavan's indifference to them. And then Bhagavan would say, you see Devaki, it's a thankless job, he would say. But then all the great Mahatmas know that it's a thankless job, and it's not for thanks that they are doing what they are doing. They are doing it out of compassion. But they insist upon transformation. And the transformation can come only with your persistent, consistent devotion. If your devotion is only for getting your problem solved, there will be little transformation. You would go on finding fault with people. You would go on accusing people of this and that. I remember once Bhagavan said, there was a pujari who used to come to him, and he was all devotion. He was praising Bhagavan to the skies. He prostrated so much that I thought he was very, very unique in his devotion. But after he left, you know what Bhagavan said? Oh yes, because this beggar solved a certain problem for him. Rather, my father did it through this beggar. So he's showing all this. But you know, he does puja to Arunachaleshwara. Yes, he does all these things. But one thing, the minute he comes out of the temple, he starts criticizing people. He finds fault with people. He gossips. I was shocked that Bhagavan should say this. How much it should have gone into him. So no detail about us ever escapes Bhagavan's attention. So that day I learned that your devotion, your ceaseless chanting of the name should also be accompanied by your not gossiping about people, not complaining about people, not finding fault with people. And Bhagavan said that we all know the speech that he made during some function held in Nadarlaj. That's what we began with. Yesterday one problem, today one problem, and tomorrow one problem. No one is ever free of problems. So what do? Bhagavan said, when it is pouring rain, you cannot stop the rain and you have some urgent work and you have to go outside in the rain. So what do? Since you cannot stop the rain, you take an umbrella over your head and feel protected. When it is burning sun, you can't put your bare foot on the ground. And the sun is oppressively hot and hitting you straight at your scalp. So what do? You take an umbrella, hold it over your head, and put on chappals, slippers, so that you get protected on both ends. So Bhagavan said, just as you do, take an umbrella to protect yourself, since you cannot stop the sun, nor can you stop the rain. So you cannot get rid of problems just like that. But you can protect yourself from the problem with the help of Nama. He said, chant the name, chant the name, chant the name. Chanting the name is prayer. He said, if you keep on chanting the name, you don't have to pray separately. So take up any one problem at a time, and for the sake of that problem, you keep chanting and chanting and chanting. Bhagavan says you don't even have to pray separately. Then how long should we take the name? It's often asked. As long as it takes to solve the problem. You cannot do any counting. You cannot put any conditions to Bhagavan. Bhagavan would choose the time, and that would be the best for us. So as long as it takes to solve the problem, one should continue to chant. That's the only way, because the Nama is very powerful. Nami lives in his fullness, in his full glory and power in the name. And the name, the Nami or Nama, has the power to destroy our past sins, which are responsible for our present day problems. Every disease that you get, be it small or big, is because of some past karma. Bhagavan used to say very playfully, a mother-in-law heaping cruelties on her daughter-in-law will one day have to be born again as daughter-in-law and do the same to his mother-in-law. They would reverse the roles. So nobody can escape. If a daughter-in-law should cause suffering to mother-in-law, then again the roles will be reversed sometime or the other. And it's no use grumbling all the time. Why would I get this? Because you have done it, you have deserved it. You have done the same thing to somebody. So when it comes back and hits us, at least then we should feel that this is what I have done to somebody, so it's coming back to me, so I should see that I don't do it to anybody in this birth, so that my next birth would be more comfortable. And for all that, it's very difficult to think of each suffering and correct ourselves. Instead, we can just keep on chanting the name, trusting Bhagavan's wisdom to do the best for us at the right time. And that's the only way out, especially when we are so busy with our own living. We shall now offer our today's prayer at the lotus feet of Bhagavan. And before that, let's know what Bhagavan has said also about the secret of life. Bhagavan said, a higher power is running everybody's life. No one is an exception to it. And even when you are born out of the womb of your mother, you are born with the blueprint of your life. Every event of your life is already preordained, and it happens only according to the card. In which case, what can you do about your problem? The only way out is to seek the grace of God. Only God's grace can change the course of events. And for which sake we have to do some hard work. We have to do tapas. And that tapas is simply chanting the name, ceaseless chanting of the name. So now we know how the world is. Very frightening even to look at the paper. And all that is today is what we have been invited by our collective karma. So the only way out is to appeal to the grace and generosity of our Bhagavan. And that's why we have been praying day after day after day, with the hope that any prayer that's made in this powerful shrine will be realized one day or the other, and sooner than later. Bhagavan, we beg you again and again and again, a million times, for your immediate divine intervention to bring forth a dharmic normalcy to the world, the whole world, and in every aspect of life. Please replace disharmony by harmony, chaos by order, and growing enmity between groups and groups, religion and religion, country and country, by mutual understanding, love and help, so that there will be no war. And of course the furies of nature, like forest fire, flash flood, the earthquake and whatnot. Only you, the cosmic controller, has control over these furies of nature. So we beg you, Bhagavan, to save this world from the prevailing situations. And we beg you again to uproot all the negativities of the human mind that are responsible for today's world. We also beg you to reach out to all those people who have been stranded in varied parts of the world for some reason or the other, unable to get help or protection. We beg you to do the needful. And we also beg you again, for the sake of those unselfish people who have been doing hard work, hard service, for the sake of the others, to be saved from aspersion, criticism, and the like. We beg you again to promote the economy of the country and the progress of India in all fields of activities, which include all sciences and arts. And of course, India would become the world teacher as per your prediction, as per the prediction of many Mahatmas. Then it would be able to lead other countries in the path of Dharma. We beg you to promote this. We also pray to you in all earnestness and sincerity for ceaseless chanting of your name and unbroken remembrance, unbroken bringing to our mind all that you have taught, your teachings, your leelas. And we beg you again to bless us to be sattvic instruments in your hands, so that we can run our everyday life as an offering to you. And Bhagavan, please bless us not to be caught by the temptations of Maya. We also want that ultimate state of bliss. We want your supreme blessing for that. But then we need to be purified by our unbroken chanting of your powerful name and the joy of service, be it small or big, and that without any jealousy or complaints or disharmony with people around. and that in the spirit of surrender to you. And again, the practice of acceptance of whatever life brings to us, be it a joy or sorrow, we should consider it as a definite blessing coming from God, meant for our greater good, our spiritual growth, our closer kinship with God. And then we would be able to detect the living, vibrant presence of God everywhere, in everything. And Bhagavan, please bestow that grace upon us which would enable us to see your hand behind all the happenings of the world, your will behind all the happenings of life. And more importantly, we seek your blessings, we need your blessings to be able to detect that hidden grace even in the most ruinous, disastrous adversities of life. We beg you to pull us back to you and change all our difficulties into blessings. You have said so. Please bless us to be grateful to you, even for the sufferings of life. And we beg you once again, for the sake of all the species of the cosmos, in whatever state of misery they are, to be lifted to a higher plane. Finally, we seek dissolution instead of solutions to our problems, dissolution, which is dissolving in the vastness of your bliss, to be free from the vicious cycle of births and deaths, which can only mean to be free from this limited identity with the body, the tyranny of ego. Bhagavan, please bless us all with that immortal life, eternal living, and eternal servitude to you, that supreme, eternal power. Jai Yogi Ram Satkumar.